Welcome to Alpha Gal Home Cook, where I share simple, delicious recipes, foods, and snack ideas everyone can enjoy. The beauty of it is they are Alpha Gal free, use everyday ingredients, and don't break the bank. Join me today while I make everything salmon patties with lemon dill sauce. Alright, so let's get started. To make these flavorful salmon patties, all you need is a 14 to 15 ounce can of salmon. I like to use the blacktop salmon, but you can use whatever is available to you or best fits your budget. It is a little bit more expensive than other canned salmons, but it is not really expensive compared to other protein sources. You'll also need some everything seasoning, which you can find in the seasoning aisle of almost any grocery store. If you'd prefer to make yours from what you have on hand, it is a mixture of dehydrated onions, garlic, toasted sesame seeds, poppy seeds, and coarse salt. You'll also need 1 egg and Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. If you have plain breadcrumbs, you can use those and add a couple of teaspoons of Italian seasoning to the mix. This recipe makes 4 patties, which could feed anywhere from 2 to 4 people, depending on appetites and what else is served with them. I'm going to be serving these with roasted vegetables and fries, but you could easily turn these into salmon burger sandwiches. The crispy outsides make them sturdier and adds a lovely crunch to them, which is nice because salmon itself is pretty soft. I've already drained the salmon, so we're going to start by placing that in the bowl. Canned salmon is not the most attractive thing before it's turned into something delicious to eat. You'll also notice there is a little bit of skin and some small bones in salmon, but don't be grossed out by these. They are soft and cooked under such heat and pressure that the bones crumble with the slightest touch. The canning process minimizes waste, retains moisture, and natural fish oils, which are good for us. The bones also add a nice boost of calcium. After you've worked the salmon enough to break it down into small pieces, add your egg, your everything seasoning, Italian breadcrumbs, and then with your hands gently work the mixture to incorporate everything. The salmon mixture won't get sticky and form easily into a ball like ground turkey or hamburger would, but you will notice it starting to stick together when you're getting close to the end and ready to form patties. Once you feel like you can kind of put it into a ball, that's when you'll stop working it. You don't need to overwork it. At this point, I divide the mixture into 4 equal parts so that I can ensure that the patties are all relatively the same size. Once I have 4 balls that look about the same size, I start to flatten and shape them. You'll want to hold them in your hands to do this so that they don't crumble, and you can gently work them into a disc. You don't want to make them too thin or they will just completely fall apart. Until you start cooking them, the patties will easily crumble, so you want to work relatively quickly but also gently as you form them into the balls and patties. To shape the patties, I gently flatten the ball just slightly. Remember, we don't want them to be too thin. As you gently press them flat, the edges might start to flake a little bit, but then I just lightly pat and tap around the edges to ensure that everything sticks in place. Unfortunately, I have my camera off center a little bit here, and so that first one you weren't able to see me do very well, but if you watch the second one or the third one, you'll see that they are kind of pressed flat, then they are shaped by rolling around the edges just a little bit, and they start to stick together really nicely. There you go. Now that we have 4 beautifully shaped patties, it's time to cook them. Before I started shaping the balls, I went ahead and put a large skillet on the stove with my oil so I could get that nice and hot. You want the oil to be hot enough to sizzle a little when you put the patties in, but you don't want it so hot that it will burn them. You also don't want your oil to burn. I like to use peanut oil, but you could use vegetable oil or whatever type of oil you use for frying. Alternatively, if you want to go a little bit healthier and not use all the oil, you can use spray oil or just spread a little bit of oil in the pan and then brown the tops and bottoms of the patties. However, I would say they probably won't be as crispy as they will if you use a little bit of oil. This lemon dill sauce has a refreshing, crisp flavor that really brings a pop to these salmon patties. It's a very simple recipe. It can be made before or after you cook your salmon patties. It calls for half a cup of mayo, 1 to 2 teaspoons of lemon zest, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and dill weed, and a pinch of salt and pepper. So here's how I grate lemon zest. I did have a zester, and there is a zester function on this grater, but I don't find it to be the easiest way to do this. Looks like this, with the little tiny holes, but I think this is fine. This is a little bit more probably than 2 teaspoons, so I won't use all of it. I'm going to be making this dill sauce in my Magic Bullet blender right here. So let's get our ingredients in. I'm going to start with that half cup of mayo. About 2 teaspoons of lemon zest, garlic, dill weed, salt and pepper. Sorry if that dog barking made you jump out of your skin. I decided to use the original audio for that section and didn't realize that my dog was barking in it, but I didn't have the heart to cut it out because she passed in March, so hopefully it didn't startle you too much. What we're doing now is we are squeezing our lemon juice so we can get about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice out of 1 lemon, and then we are going to close everything up tight and put it on the blender. If you don't have a little bullet blender like this, you can use a whisk. There's nothing in this sauce that has to be blended necessarily, or you could use, whatever blender you have available to you. When it's all done, the sauce is very creamy, it's very aromatic, it smells amazing, and it tastes fantastic. Both the Everything Salmon Patties and the lemon dill sauce are really simple to make. They require so few ingredients. I hope you'll try this recipe, and if you do, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video with someone you know who might find it useful.